take the roll of the committee members.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, we got a full house here, and we'll go ahead and do the roll call. Mr.
Okay.
Peterson.
Present.
Mr. Constant. Ms. Quinn Davidson.
Here.
Ms. LaFrance.
Here.
Ms. Kennedy.
Here.
Ms. Allard.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. So we will go to the first item on the agenda, our new business. And we're going to be getting an update of the upcoming municipal election. Please proceed with that. Are you doing that, Ms. Jones, or?
Yes, I will be. We have the whole team here today. And so the first thing that we would like to share is Jamie Heinz is our new acting deputy clerk. And I would like to introduce you to her if you haven't met her yet, either in person or virtually. And I'd like to turn it over to Jamie to do a little introduction.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Jamie.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. I have recently started with the elections team. I'm working back in the clerk's office with Barbara. I'm the former business license official. I was that role for, I believe, in 2014 and part of 2015. I was then moved to the city of Kenai. I have been working for the city of Kenai for the last 6 years. I've served as the clerk for most of those years. I have my Master Municipal Clerk designation. I'm the immediate past president of the Alaska Association of Municipal Clerks. And when the clerk's office here in Anchorage found out that I was moving back to Anchorage, Barbara reached out to me last fall and asked me to join her team as a temporary election worker. And I agreed to do that. And then due to the vacancy in the deputy clerk position, she offered me the position of acting deputy clerk of elections. And I officially started in that capacity on Monday, the 24th. And I've administered elections for the city of Kenai, although I have a lot to get up to speed with Anchorage's vote by mail processes. The elections pieces are very similar, and I just need to get up to speed on the vote by mail side.
Well, fantastic, and welcome back to the team. And I just noticed that we've been joined by Mr. Constant at 1:05. And so I guess we're ready to, Ms. Quinn Davidson's in the queue. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to say welcome to Jamie. I don't know you personally, but sounds like you have pretty incredible experience, and we're lucky to have you here, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. It's great to be back with Barbara's team.
Thank you, Ms. Quinn Davidson, and Ms. LaFrance is in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I wanted to echo Ms. Quinn Davidson's comments and welcome Ms. Heinz. Welcome, Jamie. Glad that you're here, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you guys as well.
Thank you, Ms. LaFrance. I guess we can proceed then with the update to the upcoming municipal election. Ms. Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So for our presentation today, we're going to do two things. We wanted to talk to you about election best practices, which we typically always talk to you about. We want to see where are we in our election best practices. And so We have a little cheat sheet that we use, and we've established what we believe are some election best practices. And one of them is extended early voting, which we believe that we do because ballots are mailed 21 days before the election. Military and overseas ballots are mailed a little bit before that. Voters can apply for to vote at a temporary address from approximately December 1st until 7 days before the election. In-person early voting begins 1 week and 1 day before the election at the vote centers. And we also have voting on Saturdays and Sundays at all of our vote centers. So another best practice is no excuse, vote at home ballots. And of course, ballot envelopes are mailed to all qualified registered voters, except for a couple of categories, which you are probably familiar with. It is voters who are in the undeliverable category, they're in list maintenance category or purge notice category. We don't mail to those voters. A third best practice is prepaid postage. We do not do prepaid postage. And I think some of you may have heard about what happened in the Juneau election. The City and Borough of Juneau Assembly made a decision to prepay postage on the ballot return envelopes. And although the City and Borough of Juneau was told that the post office would hand cancels election mail, there were a large number of ballot return envelopes that were not postmarked because it was prepaid postage, and as a result, those couldn't be counted because remember, prepaid postage doesn't have a postmark on it. It's not like putting a stamp on it. So that is one practice that we do not do. If sometime in the future, the Assembly wanted to consider adding that as an election best practice, what I think other jurisdictions do is they say all ballots must be received by, for example, you could say 8:00 p.m. on election night, and then you don't have to worry about that postmark because you have a deadline for receiving them. And then you could do prepaid postage. But we've had that discussion many times before in this committee, and the committee and the Assembly have made the decision not to prepay postage. A fourth best practice is fair ballot curing policies. We believe that the municipality does have fair ballot curing policies. Voters are mailed a letter within 3 days of processing their envelope to let them know if there's an issue with their ballot envelope regarding the signature or other issues like if a voter needs to provide ID. Voters may call the voter hotline to determine if their ballot was received or if the envelope was processed as good. We have a fifth practice is multiple accessible return options. And as you know, voters can return their ballot in one of 3 ways: by U.S. mail, as long as it's postmarked by Election Day and received in time for the public session of canvass. Voters can return them in one of the 18 secure ballot drop boxes, or voters can return their voted ballot to one of the Anchorage vote centers during the week and day that they are open. The sixth best practice that we have identified, and the last, is ballot tracking. And we have allowed voters to track their ballot by calling the voter hotline to see if their vote was counted. But they had to call. This year, we have begun a project with Ballot Tracks, and Liz Edwards, our election coordinator, is going to talk to you a little bit more about Ballot Tracks. And Liz, if you want to share that graphic, that would be cool.
Sure, I can do that. Okay, so we created this little graphic that we have posted on our website. It is on the ballot tracking page here at the top. And we also have put this in the candidate package that's given to the candidates who come in to file, so they can hand these out at community council meetings or if they meet with constituents. And it's just a quick little overview of how people or how Ballot Tracks works. So voters can sign up at anchoragevotes.com. They can sign up to receive alerts via text, email, or voice alerts. They will receive messages at different points in the process. For example, when the ballots are mailed out by our printing vendor, if they've been received at the election center for processing, if they've been accepted and will be counted, instances like that. And the process occurs daily from when ballots are mailed out by our printing vendor up and through certification. And it's similar to our current daily voter file. It's the previous day's information. So voters can either track their ballots at anchoragevotes.com or they can call the voter hotline, like the voter daily file we currently use in the past elections. So this is, like I said, it's on our website. We also have more information. It's on the ballot tracking page up at the top.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. We have a question from Ms. Quinn Davidson in the chat that she's wondering if a link could be sent to the members, that way we'd be able to share this with people at the local community council meetings.
Absolutely, Ms. Quinn Davidson. I can send that to everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Edwards. Proceed, Ms. Jones.
Okay, so we're really proud of the new ballot tracking info. We are going to be doing a presentation to the Federation of Community Councils, and hopefully we'll get that info out there. And if you have any other groups that would like the info, we've got either the hard copy or as Ms. Quinn Davidson asked, we'll get the link to you. So we're really happy that we're moving in the right direction on those best practices for the Anchorage election. So the next topic that we wanted to talk to you about was an update for the April 5th, 2022 regular municipal election. And the most important thing that we have to talk to you about is candidate filing. It opened on January 14th and closes tomorrow, January 28th at 5, and Amy Solberg is going to talk to you about the candidate filing.
Proceed, Ms. Solberg.
Hi, through the chair. So this is Amy Solberg, and so far we have had decent turnout for the candidates who have filed. We have the 5 assembly seats, and we have between 1 to 3 candidates per seat. We've got for school board, we have 2 seats, and currently we have 3 candidates per seat. And the service area board seats, so far we have 16 that have filed out of the 29. And so we're a little over half on those. We did have about 4 people come in and file today, so I'll be verifying those. And if all is good, I'll be posting it on the website around 5 p.m. today. If you're not familiar with the website, if you go to our muni.org/elections, and that'll bring you to the home page. From there, you can go to the candidate information page, and all of those candidates are going to be on the right-hand side of the page. It says offices on the April 5th, 2022 ballot. We have them listed in that random alphabet letter order. And we also, so we have their name, and then we have their file date, and then attached to their name is their candidate paperwork.
Okay, great. Thank you for that update.
Next, we wanted to talk to you. We just have a couple of other items that we're going to update you on. One is outreach and education. As Liz mentioned, the ballot tracking info was provided to all of the candidates, and we had a whole packet of information that we provided to the candidates about important information for the upcoming election. So we did that for all of the candidates. We have a social media plan that's coming together. We have updated and included, approved the instructions to be inserted in the ballot packages. We have created an election center tour schedule for this year. And then we have a number of regular press releases that are going out. And there's a number of other things that we're doing with outreach and education. If you have any ideas that you would like us to do for outreach and education, you can give us an email and we will do our best to incorporate them. Today is a very busy day because we are completing the text of the ballot propositions. Those need to go to our ballot designer today. So all of the ballot props that were passed by the Assembly on the 19th and on January 11th we're getting the text together, working with the Municipal Attorney's Office and Assembly Council to make sure that we have the correct text. And then that'll go to our ballot designer to start creating the ballot design. The first notice of election will be published 1 week from Sunday. And of course, it will have all of the ballot props and the candidate names. Amy and Jamie are interviewing and hiring workers. The election worker job is posted on the municipal website and on the elections website. If you know anyone that would be interested in working a temporary part-time job with us, it pays $15 an hour. Please refer them to the website. We are scheduling and planning training for our 60+ election workers. It's a big job. We require all of our different team members to go through training every year. You know, it includes Dropbox training, review and resolution training, facsimile training, call center training. So there's lots of training going on, and we want to make sure everybody's up to speed on everything that we do and we have a common understanding. There are many more tasks that are filling up the work and time for the election team. February next month gets pretty intense. Pretty quickly, we obtain the voter files from the state of Alaska. We're going to start proofing those actual ballots and then doing that worker training and beginning conducting tours. So by the time we meet with you next month, we will have a whole bunch of more things that we've accomplished and we can update you on. So that's it for us.
Well, thank you, Ms. Jones. And so have we set up any training for election observers from campaigns?
Well, we have published the election tour schedule. Last year, we conducted 6 tours. This year, we have 10 scheduled. So we've increased the number because we anticipate that we will have more tours with observers. One of the tours on the schedule is called Observer Train the Trainer tour. So we were asked at a meeting that we held with the observers in December to review Title 28. They asked us if they could conduct tours and if we could train the trainer. And we said, sure. So we have that training scheduled. And then I anticipate what will happen is we will need to add more tours, but we've got 10 of them scheduled for the next, month or so. And I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson, there may have been a second part to that question.
No, I think you answered with plenty of detail there, Ms. Jones. And Just wondering if any other members of the committee have any questions at this point after the update that Ms. Jones just gave us. Not seeing anything in the chat at this point. So I guess we are finished with the business item. Do we have any old business that anyone would like to bring up, a member of the committee? Not seeing any of that. So I guess we're ready to move to audience participation. Is there anyone that's called in that would like to participate? You get 3 minutes. And to unmute, I believe it's *6. Not seeing anyone as of yet. Last call for audience participation. Not seeing anyone. I guess I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, everyone.